mid-90s, Mark came to me at Gilda Bay as an accounting student at Pepperdine. He was bored out of his skull and wanted to do something to help out the bay. And he expressed a strong dislike of polluters because of what they had done to the bay, creeks, and rivers that he grew up in. So, as the nurturing soul that you all know me to be, I gave him a horrible task as an intern to review stormwater permit annual reports for all 88 cities in Los Angeles County and to write a report on the compliance status of those cities. Any normal person would have tapped out and bailed on such a task, but not Abe. He stayed for another 12 years. After his internship, he went to get his master's in landscape architecture from Cal Poly Pomona. That was a commute. One of the cool and innovative parts of their master's program was that you had to complete a group project thesis for a client. In this case, it was Gilda Bay. Abe being Abe, he got his 3 partners, including Eileen Takata, who I hope is here, a mainstay as the watershed and environmental justice conscience at the Army Corps, to work on the project. In typical audacious fashion, Abe got the team to create the Malibu Creek Watershed Stream Team, which turned into the premier volunteer watershed monitoring program in the state of California. The comprehensive program had monthly water quality monitoring for nutrients, fecal indicator of bacteria, pH, dissolved oxygen, and other contaminants, sediment, macroinvertebrate biodiversity sampling. Nobody did that. That was just nuts. And the most audacious component, mapping the entire Malibu Creek and its tributaries for physical changes and stream health in the creek. That's right, they mapped all of Malibu Creek and the tributaries in a 109 square mile watershed. So, and I know half of the people here got interned by Mark to participate in that effort. And every time you're in this watershed, you should thank Mark. That data was instrumental in so many environmental wins. And he treated this watershed as if it was a family member. And we've heard how close he is to his family. He did anything and everything for it. Stream team data led to pollutant and discharge reductions from the Tapia water recycling facility. Thank you, Abe. As the eyes and ears of the watershed, Mark provided critical information that led to multiple enforcement actions at the Coastal Commission and the Regional Water Quality Control Board. Thank you, Abe. Amundsen Ranch never would have been saved without him. First of all, he convinced me that we needed to make this supposed lost cause a Gilda Bay priority. Shelley Luce can attest to this in every facet. This was after he had mapped the creeks on the parcel in a clandestine manner, i.e. illegal. I remember his excitement about the red-legged frog's grotto and the mapping of that and seeing the frogs in the grotto like it was yesterday. That childlike joy was insane. Then we had to convince our board to oppose a development for the first time in organizational history. If you know the board at that time, there were a lot of people there who were Republicans and pro-development, and it took a lot of convincing to change that in a big way. The end result was partnering with Mary Weisbrock, Madi Waya, Ventura County, Rob Reiner, Chad Griffin, Chris Albrecht, and so many others, many of you who participated in that fight, to stop the destruction of the headwaters of the Malibu Creek watershed. That's where a planned 10,000 people and 2 golf courses were going to be sited. And because of him, it never would have happened. Thanks, Abe. And thanks, Governor Davis, for investing $150 million for the permanent preservation of the ranch so we can all enjoy it and think of Mark every time we're there. Think about all those steelhead migration barriers removed in Solstice Canyon, Malibu Creek, and other locales. The nature-based best management practices built. The 101 wildlife underpass landscaped, and tens of acres of riparian habitats restored in this watershed in the Santa Monicas. Thank you, Abe. And thanks Mike Rowe and Dirty Jobs for highlighting Abe's work. And finally, Malibu Lagoon, where we are right now, or Mark's Lagoon as he viewed it. From restoration design to nature-based parking lot construction, to the CEQA process, to withstanding mean-spirited vitriolic opposition, to construction, to planting, to monitoring. Abe did it all. Abe was leading every single step of the way, not only at Heal the Bay, this project was way too big for us alone, LA Waterkeeper and the Bay Foundation. You needed all of us, anyone who's ever had this experience. Managing Abe is a joke. Nobody manages Mark Abramson. Magnificent work, as you can see here today. It just is already standing the test of time. Clark can tell stories as well. Thank you, Abe. But Mark was so much more than a landscape architect and a practicing restoration ecologist. As we've heard already, he was a larger-than-life figure with an irreverent sense of humor, a loud, booming voice, infectious laugh, enormous stubborn streak, strong ethics, generous spirit, opinions about everything, and tireless dedication. Mark was a doer, not a talker, something that we miss a lot nowadays. He could spot BS from a mile away, and then he'd call it out, usually in the most embarrassing possible way. As I said before, as his boss, he was absolutely unmanageable, but with all he accomplished, who cares? And his army of volunteers, again, many of who are here today, were as dedicated and loyal as he was. And I'm sure each and every one of them did at least 100 things they never wanted to do, but they did because Abe made them do it. He convinced them how important it was. Former LA Times journalist and Pulitzer Prize winner Ken Weiss summed up Abe in a profile article as, "Nothing seems to intimidate this espresso guzzling, Marlboro smoking, Altoid popping eco cop in cargo shorts. Not the poison oak or stinging nettles that block his path to the creek, not slogging through tainted water, not accusations of trespassing from the former Amundsen Ranch development team, when he follows the creek to someone's property. Abe, we miss you. I'll miss you yelling out Goldie." Jeff, I guess, now has inherited that, the only person who ever got away with that. "We will all miss that big laugh. We will miss sharing a beer and reminiscing about the good fight. We will miss your F-bombs and passion for protecting Santa Monica Bay and the Santa Monicas. We'll miss his inimitable style of broad-rimmed hat, cargo shorts, tee, wool socks, and hiking boots, which everyone has captured so well today. And most of all, we will miss his big heart. But we will remember you always, every time we set foot in Amundsen Ranch, and right here at Malibu Lagoon, Abe's Lagoon."
His final prayer is a prayer that is said, it's called El Male Rachamim,